Okay, peeps. So for alcohol markers, as you can see, I practiced a little bit because I kind of forgot. So alcohol markers are better for blending. Then you can use them for the bars and the fill. The fill is actually really good because if you know they don't have that streakiness that you could get from regular markers, you kind of lose that a little bit, okay? And you can also just blend like this. So the cool thing about these kind of markers, so you see how I went over that and it's really smooth, is that they the more you go over it, the darker it gets. So that's one option when you're trying to do a fade of any kind, or not a fade, like any kind of blending. You can actually just blend with one color. So if you have this, so I'm just kind of making a square, okay? And if I keep going, as you can see, it gets darker and darker, okay, as I continue to add on, okay? Now to keep it so that you don't get those lines, like that little line, sometimes you can do it using these, like using the thin side, okay? All right. And as you can see, the more I do it, the more it gets darker. So that's kind of a cool thing with these. All right. And then again, keep going darker and darker. Or you can actually add another color that's darker onto it. Let's see how this works out. It's nice to use them when they're a little wetter. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this here. Okay, so now I have this darker color here. So I'm going to go over it and scrunch this here kind of by going this direction, okay? And as much as I'd like to do that, I'm just going to keep, so as you can see, I filled that in, and I'm just going to kind of blend this out here. Okay, so you go over the edges, and then you get a nice fade, okay? Another way to do the fade is you start with your lighter color, okay? So you fill in whatever you're going to do with your lighter color, all right? And then you overlap it with your darker color. Sorry, I'm not giving... Okay, and again, I just kind of do the same kind of thing here. And then you continue with your lighter color, and then you just blend away by using the thin tip. And you kind of do circular. And you have to kind of be patient, you know, until it kind of blends in a little bit. But as you can see, I'm just going over that one edge, just blending that edge out, okay, as much as I can. And as you see, I blended it out pretty well. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Now, some people have a blending pen too, but you can also use a lighter pen. So I'm using this really cool gray here just to go over this area a little more and make it a little better blended. Okay, so this one here, basically I started with the dark, with the light. Let's do that again. Okay, well, okay, started with the light, went with the dark. These are my daughter's pens, so I have to be really careful with them. Okay, I'm going over it with the dark, okay? And then I'm going to blend it out with a light color, and I'm using this edge here, okay? I'm not gaining as much ground as I would like. So I'm going to first blend it out with the light color. There's a lot of clicking going on. Okay, there we go. I like this better. After I've done blending it out with the lighter color, again, then I'm going to go over it with the very light color, okay? So just blending this out until I see that, okay? Then, boop, all right. Then I can go over it with the lighter color and just make it nice, okay? So that's how you blend, and they're actually pretty useful. You can, you can blend from one to another. So like if I'm going to go from red to orange to yellow, I would start with my yellow, okay? And let me show you. So again, this is mostly just for blending, okay? And my yellow is going to be my chief blender, I think. But we'll see. Okay, so I have my start, all right? Now I'm going to go over it with my orange, my second lightest color, okay? And I'm going to do the same kind of thing that I did before, okay? And now I'm going to use my yellow to circle the crap out of it here, okay? So that it nicely blends. Just keep doing it. I like the sound. Okay, until you find that it's blended as much as you'd like. Okay? I'm going to keep going here a little bit. All right, it's blended pretty well. All right, so then I'm going to go over it with my red. Yes, I finally got the right one. Okay, and then I'm going to use my orange to blend the red into the orange, okay? And I didn't get my little one, but that's okay. I'll use my big one there. And you just kind of have to be patient until it starts to fade a little bit. It will fade. I'm going to use the other edge. I like it better. So I usually use the thin one when I want to fade, okay? And I'm still doing it. Okay, until I get a nice fade going there. I might go over it with yellow. Oh, I got the right one. Let's see if that works. Okay. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. All right, so really it's just one thing after another. You just keep going. This is not my forte, but I think I did okay. Yeah. All right, until you can blend that in nicely. Now you can also go from dark to light just by using one color, okay? And that's kind of a cool thing. Let me just do a purple just so you can get an idea. And, oh, that's too dark. So I'm going to start with just a red, okay? Of course, it's the wrong side. So like, okay, so I have red here. Okay, and now I'm just going to go over it again. And that's the cool part about alcohol markers, is that the more you put on, the darker it gets. So you see, I'm just going over it and over it. Okay, over it and over it. Until it's darker and darker, okay? And that's a cool way to do it. And I'm kind of doing curly Q things here. Okay? Let me try the curly Q a little more. Little curly Q thing there. Little curly Q thing there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. All right. As you can see, I'm experimenting. But the more you go over it, the darker it gets. And that's a good thing. Okay, so you could do a fade that way as well. So these are markers that you can really use to do these nice fades, okay? Not fade, blends. And you can blend them really well. You just have to be a little patient and do your thing. Alrighty. Bye.